when a contract becomes the beginning of emotion. In an era where love is often seen as the natural outcome of feelings, The Trunk, the latest Korean drama from Netflix, chooses to swim against the current. What happens when a marriage begins not from love, but from a contract? At first glance, the premise might seem straight out of a fantasy novel or a cliched romance trope. Yet The Trunk delivers an unexpected twist. It doesn't merely tell a love story but rather unpacks the nature of loneliness, the longing to feel present, and the process of emotional healing in a hypermodern society. With the stellar pairing of two of Korea's most critically acclaimed actors, Gong Yoo and Seo Hyun Jin, and the seasoned direction of Kim Kyu Tae, The Trunk emerges as a hybrid of mystery and emotional introspection. It's a story as much about silence and wounds as it is about connection and transformation. Temporary marriage, a bizarre structure or a metaphor of our times? In The Trunk, Gong Yoo plays Han Jeong-won, a successful music producer carrying deep emotional scars from a failed marriage and a painful past. Opposite him, Seo Hyun Jin plays No In-ji, a senior employee at New Marriage, a company offering one-year contractual marriages under one strict condition: no love allowed. The concept of a temporary marriage might initially seem provocative or even exploitative. But its absurdity is precisely the narrative device the show uses to reflect a deeper truth: the institutionalized loneliness of modern life. In a society where relationships are increasingly quantified and burdened by social expectations, the act of purchasing a companion becomes a symbolic crisis of connection. NG isn't a wife in the traditional sense. She is a service, a scripted role with time limits, emotional boundaries, and controlled engagement. And yet, within this rigid framework, something unexpected occurs. Real emotions begin to surface, quietly, subtly, and achingly. Gong Yoo and Seo Hyun Jin, loving each other through performance. One of the key reasons The Trunk resonates so strongly is the powerful and restrained performances of its lead actors. Director Kim Kyu Tae refers to their synergy as perfect chemistry, not only in scenes but in the way they supported each other behind the camera. Gong Yoo is no longer the mythical goblin of his earlier fame but a middle-aged man worn down by regret and memory. He shared that playing Jeong felt deeply personal. "I didn't have to study the role too hard, everything just came naturally." Seo Hyun Jin brings No In-ji to life with an enigmatic calm and quiet depth. She admitted she never found the character logical. "In-ji makes sense to me. I understand her, I felt like her." Throughout the filming process, both actors confessed that they often felt as though they were living their characters rather than merely portraying them. Love as a social experiment, a bold, different lens. While many Korean dramas still favor familiar tropes of fate, miscommunication, and grand romance, The Trunk instead asks, what truly constitutes a relationship? Is it love, or is it the willingness to be present, to listen, and to understand? Gong Yoo said the script made him reevaluate his own beliefs about love and companionship. There's no right answer. Love can be possessive, yearning, or affirming. But what does a healthy relationship really need? That's what I kept thinking about, he explained. Seo Hyun Jin went even further, saying she didn't view The Trunk as a story about marriage at all. "To me, it's about emotional exaggeration, how wounded people interact and evolve when placed in an unnatural structure." This offbeat approach sets The Trunk apart from the oversaturated K-drama landscape. The series doesn't rush into climaxes or emotional outbursts. Instead, it allows its characters to dwell in silence, in glances, in restrained gestures, and especially in those unsaid moments charged with meaning. Conclusion: inviting the audience into a mysterious trunk of emotions. The Trunk isn't just the title, it's a symbol. A metaphorical chest filled with unspoken traumas, restrained emotions, and unconfessed love. What's most commendable about the show is that it doesn't hand viewers a moral or resolution. Instead, it invites them to search for their own answers. What is love to you? What makes a relationship real? These are the quiet, lingering questions that echo long after the credits roll. In an entertainment industry increasingly driven by short attention spans, metrics, and trends, The Trunk is a rare artistic endeavor, slow, introspective, and profound. It challenges its audience to pause and examine themselves through the lens of fictional relationships that may feel uncomfortably real. And perhaps, That's the kind of love worth preserving, the one that doesn't shine loudly, but changes us gently from within. A love quietly stored away, waiting to be rediscovered in the trunks of our own hearts. In the saturated landscape of Korean dramas, where romantic pairings often feel formulaic or forced, the trunk stands out as a striking exception, not because of its glossy visuals or star-studded cast, but because of the haunting, quiet intimacy between Gong Yoo and Seo Hyun Jin. Their chemistry isn't loud. It doesn't rely on kisses under cherry blossoms or tearful confessions in the rain. Instead, it unfolds through stolen glances, pregnant silences, and the kind of mutual understanding that's harder to fake or script. But what makes this pairing so uniquely compelling? The answer goes deeper than just performance. A chemistry built on restraint, not romance. Most K-dramas rely on a familiar formula: throw two impossibly good-looking leads into a series of emotionally charged situations and let sparks fly. But The Trunk, based on Kim Kyu Tae's novel of the same name, flips the formula on its head. Gong Yoo plays Han Jeong-won, a melancholic music producer traumatized by a failed marriage. Seo Hyun Jin is No NG, a woman who sells one-year marriages as part of a mysterious agency, and has no belief in love herself. They enter into a marriage not for love, but for a contract. The genius of The Trunk lies in how it weaponizes that emotional distance. Rather than explosive passion, Gong Yoo and Seo Hyun Jin navigate their roles with quiet precision. Every pause is loaded. Every line delivery is cautious but meaningful. Instead of performing love, they reveal how it creeps in uninvited, a dangerous passenger in a vehicle built for detachment. Real-life parallels, why it feels so authentic. One major reason this chemistry feels so believable? Both actors are no strangers to emotional complexity, in life and on screen. Gong Yoo, 45, has spoken candidly about loneliness and the pressures of public life. Seo Hyun Jin, 39, has often chosen roles that deal with emotional repression, trauma, and healing rather than conventional rom-com fluff. In an interview, Gong Yoo admitted that he didn't have to act too much to portray Jeong-won. This character speaks my emotional language. The loneliness, the detachment, I know what that feels like. Seo Hyun Jin echoed a similar sentiment. People ask why I chose such a cold character. But to me, she's not cold. She's just quiet. And there's a difference. Their lived experiences bleed into their roles, giving the relationship on screen an authenticity that no amount of acting technique could fabricate. No performances, just presence. Director Kim Kyu Tae, the visionary behind emotionally intense dramas like It's Okay, That's Love, described their chemistry as less about interaction, more about presence. There were moments on set, he said, where Gong Yoo and Seo Hyun Jin would just sit silently in a scene, and the air between them would change. No lines. Just tension. That's something you can't teach. Instead of trying to impress or outshine each other, the actors did the opposite, they disappeared into their characters. And in that disappearance, they found a rare synchronicity. It's not that they made each other better, it's that they made each other real.